Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Holly with the Nestle Valley Farmhouse. So today is actually going to be a clean with me. I got some company coming over today. We're gonna have a little game night, and I have actually going to be trying out some natural cleaners. So I did some research, and I hear that it's kind of all the rage right now is to try to make your own cleaners. So I figured I'd give it a try and let you guys know how it turned out. So you can use pine trees. These are Douglas firs, and so I looked it up, and you can basically make cleaners out of course, the orange peels, which you saw earlier, and fir or pine. I think spruce you can't, just FYI, but anyway, so I'm just gathering some pine needles from this Douglas fir in our front yard to put, because I'm going to try this out. I don't know, it was going to be a fun experiment. I feel like it'd be something kind of fun to do with the kids and just another way to kind of learn about natural cleaners and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to be having 3 jars. So this jar had a ton of orange peels in it. It was kind of funny. I told the kids, like, just put the orange peels in the jar, and then we ended up like getting really full. So I'm just putting vinegar on top. So basically my understanding is you put vinegar on it and then you let it soak for about a week or so in a sunny spot, which I'll be honest is going to be kind of hard to find in my house because we just don't get a lot of sunshine this time of year. I guess I should say that. So I am putting, and then yeah, and you do the same thing with the fir branches. So I'm putting a bunch of fir branches in there, and I'm actually in the big middle one. I actually did both the fir and the orange peels just to kind of make an experiment. We're going to see how this works out. So I used up all my fir branches, or all the ones that I could, and basically shoved them in as best I could so I can get as much, because I guess pine needles or pine firs have like a lot of like antimicrobial properties. They're really good for, you know, like a natural cleaner. I've heard a lot of good things, so I figured I'd give it a try. So of course I'm putting vinegar on top of both of those, and then I will be setting them in a window and letting them sit for about a week, I think it was. Maybe it might have been a little bit over a week, because you know, life be crazy, right? So now I'm just sitting them in this windowsill. I actually ended up moving them over to our bedroom window because then that way the kids wouldn't mess with them, because I have curious kids. So, but yeah, they started out there and they sat for, I think it was about a week and a half, I think, when I finally was able to get it done. So here we are a week and a half later, and it is the day of my party, and I call this blitzing my house. I don't know why. I just have to basically get the downstairs cleaned up as fast as possible because I'm having a bunch of people over for a game night. So I used the colander and basically poured out all the juice, and according to my research, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, the solution with water. So I've added that much, and then there's this like Good Morning Sunshine essential oil. I will be honest, you guys, the initials, like, they stunk really bad. They were very vinegary, and whatever like the pine needle smell was, it was the worst. So I ended up putting a lot of essential oils on both of them, and because yeah, I could not handle just the vinegary smell. So hopefully they will work out. I'll kind of let you know. I'll be using them up, of course, but I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about doing it again. So, and as you can see, I do apologize, but my house is an absolute mess. We've been crazy. This was actually, I think I've already posted videos, but we had a bunch of sickness go through our house. Everyone was sick for a while, and so it smelled so bad, you guys. So I was not able to get as much stuff done as I wanted to. So I was really like, today, my husband was gone with 2 of the kids to their basketball games, because they were like one right after the other. Oh, and then I finally found a funnel, of course. So the first time I did it without the funnel. So Mia's helping me with this one. She wanted to pour it in and kind of be a part of the experiment. But yeah, so her grandparents are actually going to take her to her basketball game today. So I'll be home with the 2 littles. There's the final product for now. I found these bottles at our local grocery store. So you can just find empty spray bottles that worked really well. So just kind of tidying up around the house. It wasn't actually too bad. I actually was able to, I felt pretty good. Like I actually got it a little bit cleaner than I thought I was going to. So today I'm going to just do a quick, I called a blitz. I'm going to do dust, I'm going to vacuum, and I'm just going to get everything ready for people to come over. So my daughter's grandparents actually took her to her basketball game so I could stay home with the two littles and get stuff done. And it was very helpful. I'm so grateful to have a little bit of support system. They try at least to help out when they can. So I feel like the biggest thing is always folding up those blankets. Like my kids love to just pull like all the blankets out. Like instead of, you know, using the blanket they've been using, they always want to get a new blanket. And we always just kind of put them on top of the dog kennel. It's not the best solution, but it's kind of what we do for now. So here's the kids' corner. It was a little messy. It actually wasn't too bad. Like I said, I had been, for the most part, I'd been staying on top of like keeping the living room clean. It was more so the kitchen and the dining room that I feel like just gets so, Friday nights are the worst. So today is Saturday morning and Friday nights are the worst, y'all, because we have two practices at the same time. And so normally that's me. I normally take them because my husband's so sweet. He wants to give me a break. But of course, after dinner and stuff, it's like practices are right after dinner. So I don't always have time to like tidy up the kitchen, and it normally gets kind of left a bit of a mess. And then we had a bit of a wild morning this morning, so I wasn't able to even get to dishes before like you're seeing it now. I think it's probably about noonish, maybe around lunchtime right now, just trying to get everything cleaned up. So now I'm just pulling out the vacuum. I'm going to do a real quick vacuum. Like I said, it wasn't too bad. But overall, so my initial view of the natural cleaners are, of course, I like the idea of them being like all natural, non-toxic. It's basically vinegar, orange peel, or vinegar, pine, and essential oils. I didn't show it, but I put a lavender essential oil in the pine needle one. And oh my gosh, like it stunk so bad, but the lavender definitely helped kind of cover up the smell. Like it just had that really vinegary smell. And I feel like people are like, oh, it smells so good. I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with that. But if I'm being honest, I'm not really sure that it's like worth all the work that you have to put into. I mean, if I'm in like a, you know, complete like self-sufficient situation and I need to make some natural cleaners, because even like the amount of vinegar that you're spending and stuff, I don't know that it really is worth it for me. So I just sprayed the washcloth with the pine stuff, and that's what I'm using to dust with. Just kind of going over our mantle. Definitely has some wear and tear on it. Of course, it's in our main area and we use it a lot. So I'm just going to wipe everything down. When I dust, that's what I try to do. And I think I did dust all the picture frames and stuff too. But overall, if I had to pick, I probably would not do this again, because I think for the price of like some decent cleaners that aren't super like chemically and they just smell way better and they clean way better, I don't know. I think I would just stick with that. I feel like it was a good experiment. It was worth trying, but I don't know that it's something that I would necessarily want to do, like that I'd be really concerned about doing again. I guess for me, like you kind of have to find your, how do I put it delicately? You kind of have to find the things that you're that you're willing to live with. And for us, like my main focus is raising my 5 kids, making sure they have a decent childhood, making sure that I'm there for them and that they're getting opportunities, but also like with our homesteading stuff. And I feel like this is just adding like one more layer that I'm just not really sure I want to commit to. I know some people like absolutely love doing their own laundry detergent, and I have all kinds of like, I'm all inspired by them for sure, but I'm definitely not, I don't think, going to be the kind of person that's going to be doing everything natural. You got to find some balance, and I just have not found the balance. So I feel like the kitchen and the dining room was the absolute worst. Like, as you can see, just everything ends up on the floor, and it kind of drives me crazy because it's just what happens. And I feel like it's just harder to pick up, I guess, but I just sweep it all up in a pile. That makes it the easiest for me. Sweep it all up in a pile, and then I throw everything, like the big pieces that need to get thrown away. Sometimes I'll find like, you know, there'll be pencils and crowns. I just put them in another pile and they'll get put away. And then of course I sweep up all the small stuff, and that is how I do it. It's the easiest for me, and then at least it keeps it fairly clean. So this is most of it clean. Kind of the main living area has been tidied up. It looks so much better, and it just feels, and then that sun's coming in. It felt like a really good day. We had so much fun at that game night. We ended up actually watching a movie, which was really good, and I want to do these more often. I need to do like a once a month game night with like friends and family. So then like the second worst area, so we have a bunch of stuff that needs to go to Goodwill, and I haven't been able to get it taken yet. It's just we don't have a Goodwill like really convenient to us, and of course it's always hard for me to make a trip, a special trip like into the town to take it. Like we always try, because our church is in in that same town on Sundays, but then Sunday mornings can just be so crazy that I feel like we're constantly like running around, and then we're like, once we're halfway to church, we're like, oh shoot, the stuff is still there. So I think I might be better. I think I might just put it all in the trunk here in a couple days, and then hopefully we can take it in and get it done. Here's hoping. So just wiping down the kitchen counters using the orange peel cleaner, and I think I like the smell of the essential oil. It's like kind of got some citrus in it, but overall, I'm not a huge fan. Sorry guys, I'm not a huge fan of the natural cleaners. I will definitely use what I made up, but I don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to be making a ton, unless like it just becomes really cost effective. I just don't know that it's really worth it for me. So I ended up doing like the worst for last, and this was like the dishes were like the one thing that I guess I was dreading on doing today. But luckily enough, I feel like I try to start in like one corner. Some days I will pick like the dirtiest room and clean it first and then do the rest. Other days I'll pick the cleanest room and clean it, like if I'm really struggling with motivation, because I need to just see that visual progress. And so I kind of feel like my living room is normally the cleanest of all the rooms. It just seems for the most part to be easiest to pick up. So I feel like when I do that, it just really helps me feel a little bit better and feel a little bit less like overwhelmed, and then I'm able to kind of tackle the rest of the house. So as usual, dishes are always the worst because they just pile up. You got a lot of kids, we eat at home most of the time, and so in a general rule, I think I've said this before, but I try to run the dishwasher twice a day. Basically once in the morning if I didn't do dishes the night before, and then once after lunch or afternoon, or I'll try to do it like after lunch and then maybe after dinner, depending. I'd like to get it to where I could do it after lunch and after dinner, and then focus on kind of closing the kitchen. That's going to be maybe one of my goals as we kind of get out of this busy season, to stay on top of, because I do feel like having the kitchen just like a mess before I go to bed just does not help. But you know, like I said, it's all about balance, and like right now I only have so much mental energy to deal with the current things that we got going on. So as I get better at handling, you know, all the stuff going on, I will be able to kind of move forward and do more things that I think are helpful. So always before company comes over, tip, this is something that I didn't used to do, but I'm doing more often, is clean your bathroom. Even if you just cleaned it the day before, make sure everything's wiped down, make sure you have a fresh towel, make sure like those diapers in there, that's where they normally go. I actually took them out and put them, and I washed them, because as my mom would say, the bathroom is the only room in your house that guests will go and that you will not be there. So I finally got everything all cleaned up, and look how beautiful it is outside, and that sun is all beautiful. So good luck on your cleaning. Hopefully you guys have some fun events coming up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.